Hey y'all, I'm Shayna and I'm back with another review. This is for Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 15, episode 4. Uh, the buck stops in Birmingham. They could have picked a better name. But that's just a little small detail. That's neither here nor there. We're going to go ahead and jump into it because it's a little late. The review a little bit late, but I mean, it's here. Just enjoy it, watch it. I'm bringing it to you, even though it didn't even give all that much. All right. But before we go ahead and jump into it, y'all already know what to do if you've been here before and you're not yet subscribed. Like, just click it for me one time. It's free. Okay. It will help me. It don't cost you nothing. Don't take no time. Just click it. All right, like it, comment on it. If you're new here, if you're not, either way, check out my other content. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you get anything out of the video. So let's go ahead and jump into it. We start off with Manyetta. She's helping Kenya with a dance routine for an event at an HBCU. I really wish Kenya didn't get that BBL. Like, it just don't fit. Like, it's just plopped in the back. Like, anyway, Mayetta says she's danced with Prince and Genuine, Joe, etc. And again, like I said on the last review for RHOA, who knew? But I'm glad we know that we didn't really see much because whatever Kenya was doing, we didn't get to see Manietta's full talents, if you ask me. So Mayetta gets a FaceTime from Ro, which is her friend and Kenya's temporary boo. And Kenya said basically he dusted the cobwebs off. Yeah. I ain't mad at her for having a little bit of fun. Like, I don't know if this is going to be turning into anything serious. I think she's just having fun right now. And that's fine. After being with her alleged husband, I said alleged husband because I need to see a marriage license at this point. Ain't no way this divorce is taking this dang on long. These two never even lived together. Like, please spare me. So over at Sonya's Full House, she's being a boss to her brother-in-law, who's her assistant. He just seemed over it. She on the phone like, we got to do this. Did you do that? Did you? Like, if you're going to be micromanaging him like this, just do it yourself. So after she hangs up with him, she's sitting there with her mom and her sister, and she tells them that Ross is ready for them to get out. Like, he wants them to go. They need to move. They seem shocked. Like, what? I thought we had a year or two. It's only been 1 year. I thought we had a second year to get it together. I thought they were ready to go. Mama, weren't you ready to go to Florida? Sis, weren't you tired of Sonya running your life out? What? Okay. And in confessional, Sonya's sister and mother are sitting there together. And Sonya says the family living in the house is beneficial to Sonya and Ross because they're living babysitters. Like, Sonya and Ross can freely come and go. They don't got to worry about their son. And her sister said she's self-centered. And Mama agrees. Oof. That was ugly. Sis said her feelings are hurt. But honestly, truth be told, they should have never moved in the first place. I know y'all said they had that reality show before and they did it the first time. They should have never moved in the first place. Like, I know y'all worked together and everything. Y'all should have done that in Texas. Because no, I can't even imagine living in a house with my mother at this stage in life. Like, oh my God, especially when you got a husband. And yeah, I'm with Ross. Please get them up out of here. And it's like they said they want to go, but I guess it's just like they wanted to leave when they was ready to go. It was fine when they do it. It's fine when you do it. It's a problem when I tell you to get out, though. So we see Marlo doing a Halloween photo shoot with her nephew. She does this every year. Now she's incorporating her nephews. And her sister Crystal stops by. And Marlo says, does Crystal still live in a 2-bedroom? Okay. Anyway, Marlo says she wants to get her record expunged so she can be licensed to carry. Especially since her home was broken into last year. And she's like, the girls are always throwing in her face that she's a convict and a felon. I don't really hear people bringing that up too much. And if they do, it's in retaliation to something that you said. But all right. So Marlo brags that Courtney was helping her with getting her record expunged. And she was like, oh, I can call around some people. I can refer you to somebody. And she was just giving her all this praise. And it's like, some of these other girls I've known for years, like Candy Burrs, who ain't never did nothing for me, Miss Worldwide. First of all, you only known Courtney for 2 seconds. Like, you giving her a little too much, okay? Because we don't need much like Courtney like that. And I'm still trying to figure out why Marlo has moved on from Friends of the Show. Take that peach away and give it to somebody else, please. But I'm like, you just can't go a scene without talking about Candy Burrs. Even I don't think Candy was on the entire episode. Yet I heard her name so many times from Marlo alone. Like, she's there even when she's not there. Like, I don't understand. What was Candy supposed to do for you exactly? And even if she could do it for you, why would she do it for you? Look at how you treat her. So, now, where am I with my notes? Okay, Marlo mentioned that at her nephew's funeral, Candy never sent no flowers. She ain't send a car. She ain't send no money. She ain't do nothing. And all she was like was, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that." She like she didn't even say that. Like, but it's like what? In Candy's defense, like, yes, Candy could have absolutely sent something. She could have absolutely sent some flowers. It would have just been courteous. I probably would have just sent something, just to be kind. However, given the strained relationship y'all two have, and it's like, oh, he worked at your restaurant, he worked at your restaurant. Do you really think just because he worked at one of her restaurants that she knows? Can't possibly think she literally knows every employee personally. You didn't even mention that your nephew was working there until he passed on and transitioned. So, I mean, just because he worked there don't mean she knew him like that. She might have known him from the payroll. She don't know him like, I mean, she has people that work for her that hire and manage and do all the things. So, I mean, I don't know. Marlo was like, look, why do things keep happening? Why does crime keep happening at OLG? And again, we can't blame that on OLG. I mean, y'all said she bring the hood folks out, but she can't control what they do when they get there. Like, it's in an urban area. I'm sure there's crime going on other places. We can't just act like, oh, it's safe all around town except at OLG. If that was the case, nobody would be eating there no more. So we see Sheree, and she's at the doctor's office at an OBGYN, I believe, and she's saying she's having trouble with her fibroids. That seems to be an issue with seemingly everyone. Like, goodness, we got to do more work so all these women are having so many issues with their fibroids. Like, first it was Giselle over there in Potomac. Was it her fibroids? I think it was. And now Sheree. So I hope she's all right. She said that she has excessive bleeding, which is hindering her love life. And she like, have you seen my man? When did you get a man? Because Martell over there in Huntsville, and he called you his friend girl. I'm just saying. Okay. All right. They do an ultrasound, and the doctor won't be playing a little too much. So I'm like, were you expecting? And she's like, expecting what? Girl, who you trying to fool? Come on, be for real. Seriously. And I looked up, because we know Kenya said in the other episode that Sheree ain't having no more menstruals. Now, I looked it up. Sheree 53. And Kenya's 52. Girl, you got a nerve. Only 1 year difference in age, and you want... Anyway. So, Sonya is having... They said a family photo shoot, but I don't see no family. Just her and her parents. Her sis was supposed to do her hair, but she's under the weather. And Sonya said, BS. She ain't sick. She probably sick of me. Yeah, it's looking like... And Sonya's telling her parents like maybe she didn't handle the moving situation with care because her brother-in-law quit. And the mom was like, I didn't even know. I just seen he was slow to respond to emails, and I didn't even. And it's awkward because it's like y'all live in this. You can't just quit in peace and go on with your life. You live in the same house, and then like y'all are in-laws and your kids as cousins, and it's just too close for comfort. It was a nice gesture for her to try to give him work since he was struggling to find work, I guess, but. Too close for comfort. Sonya was like, I'm tired of working with family. And Mama was like, me too. Like, the same way you feel, I feel the same way about you. Well, Mama, why you ain't quit then? You should have been quit. She would have figured it out. Then wouldn't be all this tension. So, the ladies are headed to Alabama for Kenya's event. And per usual, Kenya is being so nasty, so rude to her employees. So they decided to meet at Sheree's house because Kenya's driveway is awful. And of course, mostly everyone is late. Drew says she has the flu. We ain't seen a lot of Drew this season. I mean, I know we're only 4 episodes in, but we only seen her half of the time out of them 4 episodes. Candy got something going on. So Kenya is running down the itinerary once they get on the sprinter. And Sonya was like, well, I got to leave and come back because I got to do something in the morning. A planned engagement. It was prior engagement with NBC. Why not just come the next day? For me, it was just like, did you just have to film? Like, you couldn't get out of filming or something? Because I'm not going all the way to Alabama, coming back to Atlanta and going back to Alabama again the next day. Like, I don't think Alabama is that close. No, that's too much back and forth for me. I would have just came the next day and called it a day. Like, I showed up to support you at your main event, which is the parade. So they're having girl talk, and Kenya asked Courtney if she's single. Courtney said it's complicated, and it was like, oh, ish now, oh, sookie. Last thing I want to have to say when I have an adult child is, it's complicated. Child, I don't call you my special friend so fast, just like Martell does Sheree. Ain't nothing complicated about it. No, I'm single, and that's it. So, Sonya felt the need to mention something about tossing men salads. Why? Like, I really could have gone my whole entire life without this conversation, really and truly. But I mean, if y'all want to know about it, go on over there and ask Gabrielle Union. And I know what y'all thinking. How's she getting this? But she wasn't just talking about going 50-50 on the bills. She also said she likes to eat the groceries as well. So she clearly know a thing or two. But Kenya said, I got that covered. I done did it myself back in the 90s. And Sheree was like, oh, I didn't even know people was doing that back then. Neither did I. So they arrive at the dance studio, and Kenya says they're going to have a dance off. And she and Mangetta will be the judge. Marlo said, I thought this was a group activity. I didn't know Kenya was going to run off with her emotional support companion, Mangetta. Not emotional support companion. I done told y'all last time and the time before that, Marlo in the confessionals is hilarious. Marlo everywhere else, no thanks. But I can't hardly focus with all that. She scratching her throat and coughing up mucus. Ugh. If you sick, just stay home. Take a sick day. So Sheree's stiff self wins the competition. It should have been Marlo, honestly. Like, if you're just gonna be fair, just be fair. But Kenya don't like her, so she ain't gonna give it to her. It didn't matter because afterwards they got to the hotel. Later on, I might be jumping ahead, but anyway, ain't nobody like their room, of course. But anyway, they have lunch, and Courtney's on again, off again. Boo, I'm assuming she said she wasn't dating him. So who's it complicated with? Who knows? But the only man we keep seeing is her baby daddy, aka the father of her daughter, Bryce from Groove Theory. And if you can't remember what group he's in, she will remind you. So he FaceTimed her and he like, oh, like, are you home? Are you on your way home? And she like, no, I'm with the girls. I'll call you later. He said, okay, thanks. I said, she must not be on and off with this man because, okay, thanks. What? So Kenya was like, the only Bryce I know of was, she trying to jog her memory. She was like, he was in a group, 3-person group. It's coming to me. And Courtney was like, oh, yeah, that's him. Groove Theory. You know, they had that song. Tell me if you want me to. She gonna remind you, okay? And Kenya was like, yeah, we did a movie together like a long time ago. So Courtney was like, oh yeah, that sounds like him. And Kenya was like, I haven't seen a picture of him in about 30 years. Like, where he been? So Courtney sees that as a prime opportunity to call him back on FaceTime. She hands Kenya the phone. And Kenya saw him. She was like, oh, hi. I said, judging from the tone of that O and that hi, child. So the producers asked Kenya in her confessional if she's ever dated Bryce, and she was like, listen, he was fine back in the 90s, and that's all I'm going to say about that. Basically, no. She could have just said no. So Kenya decides to bring up Marlo arguing with Drew, and I think she said aggressive. I don't like throwing the A word around loosely when it comes to black people, but especially because Kenya literally says it in every other sentence. Every time she talks about anyone, they are the A word. But yes, Marlo was absolutely being aggressive. Now Marlo was like, I wasn't standing over top of her, and they showed her sitting. Like you wasn't standing over top of her in that scene, but you sure did get up in her face when you was walking out that door. She was aggressive. She did the most. And the storyline that you trying to create, it fell flat. It ain't do what you thought it did. We ain't get no sympathy, no empathy, and it's not carrying. It's not gonna carry you through the season. So later that evening, some of the ladies complained about their rooms. Like I said earlier, Sheree was like, "This is not a suite." Did she say it was a suite? I thought she said you was gonna get the biggest room. I don't know if I heard the word suite. So Mayetta comes down because they meeting down in the lobby, getting ready to get on the sprinter to go where they gotta go. And she got on this shiny one piece. It was looking like that Mace and Puff Daddy video from back in the day, or that Janet Jackson and Busta Rhymes video when they were in like that cheese like grater thing, all that aluminum and shiny like silver, you know. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So Kenya was like, "You need to change because we're going to an upscale, nice charity event." And she like, "I don't got nothing else. Like, I mean, take me as I am." And Kenya was like, "Nope, mm-mm." So after she strong armed her into changing, because she was like, "I do got a little black dress," like she was like, "Nope, we can't wait. We gotta go." Bye. So they left. But then they get there and Mayetta arrived at the same exact time. And she like, "Nah, I didn't. It took me 2 seconds to change, and I got there at the same time. Like y'all petty." But I wish Mayetta would have said that to her. But okay. So not only did they leave Mayetta, they also left Sonya and Marlo. So they arrived first, of course, and everybody got on hoodies and black Air Force Ones. Mayetta did not need to change at all. Literally, she probably was overdressed with what she had on the first time. And the second time, it looked like she was going to a church function. So everyone there was truly a fan, like acting like a fan, like it was given groupie, like fanatic. That's what it was given. So they up there asking for hugs, and he like, "Please," and she like, "Please give him a hug. This is my son, and oh, it would make my child's day if we could just get a selfie together." It was ridiculous to the point where Kenny was like, "Can y'all please stop recording us? Like, you put the cameras away. What is this?" So they're like, where are we at? This is not the upscale event y'all was telling us about." When Marlo and Sonya arrived, Marlo was like, "Look, I want to make a grand entrance." So she asked the bartender for a bottle of champagne with a sparkler. So they get it and they come over there, drawing more attention. And Sonya was like, "What is this? Like, I thought we was gonna go to the Met Gala." Did you? Because from judging from the dress you had on was pretty basic. Anyway, so they go to the rooftop and the producers break fourth wall and they talking to Kenya. Like we could hear them, we could see them a little bit and can hear them. And they were like, "Look, like basically y'all gotta go. There's too much attention. Y'all are a distraction. The people don't like it. They feel like the people not focusing on the event because y'all hear what was happening. I thought everybody was just mixing and mingling. Like it was given forever cocktail hour. Half of them people probably came because the Real Housewives of Atlanta ladies was on the flyer, so they showed up. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. But it's like they were like, "Oh no," with the drinks and all that. It was too much of a distraction. They was just sitting there minding their business, not doing nothing. Like they was like, "But with the camera crew and the microphones and the lights and this is so much." Did they not know that she was coming with a camera crew beforehand? Kenya, if you didn't tell them, you should have told them. And if they knew, then this is ridiculous to be putting them out. They kicked them out and it was only 9:30 at night. So they get back to the hotel and then all the ladies are in the lobby, minus Kenya. Apparently she left them and they feeling away, especially Marlo. And she did mention in her confessional, like, "Look, she did this to us in South Carolina and she did it to us again in Blue Ridge. So she always does it." And I mean, it's true. She did do it. She was terrible in South Carolina. After South Carolina, I wouldn't go nowhere else with her again. So they decide to go and bother her after discussing that Kenya can't plan a good trip to save her life. They're like, "Yeah," Marlo put the battery in their back, like, "Yeah, let's go upstairs and annoy her." For what? Just go to your room. Especially Sonya. Like, "Girl, why are you still here? Don't you got to hit the road?" So they get up there and Marlo gonna say, "Ooh, maybe I could call down and get a key." Like, girl, you doing the most. You're doing too much. Why would you try to get a key to this lady's room and just go in her room unannounced? I would lose my mind if I was sitting in my room undressed and Marlo come busting in. Oh no no, and the cameras. Oh no 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 no. I said I was done filming for the night. Okay. So she banging on her door talking about Summer, Summer, and somebody said that was Kenya's middle name. I guess I don't know, but first it was like Sheree knocked, which was already annoying because like obviously she don't want to be bothered with y'all. So why y'all even here? But okay, you knock, no answer, leave. She's ignoring you clearly. So then Marlo start kicking on the door like a wild donkey. Then Sheree give it a little kick and a giggle. So I go back and knock like we needed that extra knock. So then Marlo decided she just gonna start banging on the door like the police. Can you open the door? She cracked that door and started cussing Marlo out. And I don't blame her. She like, if my child in the room. So they was like, come on, let's go. Like her child is there. And I'm like, even yes, her child was there. That was ridiculous. And even if she wasn't, I don't care if I was in there by myself. Don't come up here banging on my door like you don't got no sense. These is grown 50-year-old women acting like this is insane. Like this is wild. Marlo is just doing like she trying to keep that peach by any means. Like it's just crazy. So she like, no, your daughter should have another room. No, she shouldn't. You should go to your room and mind your business and buy and get a life instead of worrying about what I got going on. But it kind of left off with a cliffhanger. I'm sure it'll be a little to be continued action. We'll find out where this picks up next week. Y'all let me know if y'all enjoyed this episode. Be sure to like, comment, and most importantly, don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.